Oh, you kicked him off because he said mean things to me. Good for you, Jess.
Wait, no, he did. He did leave. Oh no, he's back.
Nope, we're here. All right, we're live.
Jess kicked you off because you said mean things about me.
Well, what's meaner than me saying, "Oh yeah, I didn't notice them at all. I don't care." Like,
yeah, that's pretty mean.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you, dude.
What's going on?
Very excited to have you.
I'm excited to be on.
Ooh, I cannot hear you though.
You're low.
You can't hear me at all.
You're. I mean, I hear you,
Okay.
but it's like you're whispering.
It's a little low. Yep.
Is that any better?
That's way better.
That's better.
Okay, cool. Good. I'll just
By the
stay
way,
at this distance.
Yeah, you're good. My mic last week, I listened back to the audio, it was very bad. So thanks for telling me that.
Yeah, I don't care.
Probably for the best. Probably for the best.
Yeah, couldn't hear myself at all, which is actually probably for the best show ever.
Yeah, no one gives a shit, Barry. How about that one?
Aaron is really spicy.
I'm spicy this week.
Up.
Watch out. And I got these cool headphones on.
He's just doling out abuse.
Yeah. No, Rachel was legitimately scared at our last internal meeting, and Nicole.
I was.
Wow. All right.
I'm breaking in a new microphone, so if it's too loud, just let me know. Or too
Wow, you went the full mic experience. You didn't do the USB. You went fully blown XLR or whatever.
All right, I gotta run because Quinn's mom here. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. I did. It was either I have one that just wasn't very good, and then I had some recommendations, so I had to just do it right.
Well, how do you have it connected then? What's your connection set up then?
Dude, I've got this. It's just, I don't know what it's called, but it's I don't know if even I can show you, but yeah, it's like this thing here.
Yeah, you gotta what's it called?
Yeah, whatever it's called. So. Yeah, the lady at the sound place helped me out. I had to have great sound for the Adtopsy. I mean, come on.
This is for us? You did this for us?
This is a big time.
We got to get Rachel a better mic, please.
No.
I don't deserve one.
No.
All right, can we add? Is there a way we can add tips to this stream so that people can tip to get Rachel a better mic?
A GoFundMe. Yep.
Oh, it's funny. It's actually funny.
Where are we live right now? Are we live anywhere? Are we live on my LinkedIn?
We're live on your YouTube.
We're on all the places. I tweeted out some things. If anyone wants to retweet that, feel free.
I think I did retweet it.
I don't have let's see if I have tweets. Oh, we clap. R clap, live clap. No more claps, just 2 claps. Wait, Daniel, I think you retweeted the tweet from last week.
I might have. I'll unretweet that one. I just retweeted the one that was from today, though.
Nice.
What we really need is Erin to retweet because she's got the following.
Well, I channeled all 1,900 people in the Narwhal Nation, so we'll see if anyone's around.
Embarrassing.
Did you throw this?
No, I have my own channel, so I get to do what I want.
That's also embarrassing.
Wow, it's gonna be a rough episode.
I'm in roast mode.
I'll share the Adtopsy YouTube link. I think that's fair. Instead of my own.
You're very generous, Barry. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Barry,
I got to share it in the Foxwell.
Barry, I was gonna make a hat that said like "Don't make ugly ads" or something. That was like completely opposite. But I decided I didn't have enough time, so I didn't do that.
You wouldn't be the first to threaten. Many people have threatened such an opportunity, and yet so few have actually done it. So I challenge someone to step forward and really make a good mocking hat. I love a good mock.
If I do that, it's going to actually be a $30,000 hat. instead.
Crank it up, buddy.
You know,
Yeah, you'll
You
make
get
that.
more.
Get that
Gotta
money.
go
Why
big.
stop?
Oh,
Yeah, you got to get that
12,
private jet money.
10 seconds to spare.
We have a
Nobody-
comment
10
from
seconds
Lucas.
for the next countdown.
Hi, Lucas. Hey, what's up?
By the way, this does
Like
not seem
Aaron's
to be live
job.
on my LinkedIn, but I think that's okay.
What's up? I feel like I'm like a kids DJ. Like,
Jess, I don't think this is live on my
T-minus
LinkedIn.
1 minute.
Think that matters that much?
It is. I think it's hard to find. I don't know.
I found it last time on
T-minus
my
50
it was
seconds.
in the header photo of my
Right.
LinkedIn
Weird.
page, and it's not. I'm not seeing that now, but whatever. Oh well.
T-minus 40 seconds.
no one gives a shit.
This is gonna be an episode. You guys are fired up. You are real fired up.
T-minus
I don't know if I
30
can catch up with
seconds.
We are the fire team.
you.
Barry, this is your chance to do the recap.
Oh,
Oh boy.
You've delayed
T-minus
I gotta
twice
take
in a
notes.
row.
let me. I need to take notes so I can actually.
He's
know what I'm gonna
panicking.
say.
He's
I am
panicking.
freaking out.
10,
I'll do it.
9,
I gotta get my
8, 7,
my iPad's dead, so that's not
5,
working. So
Why do you have an iPad? Are you 6
2.
years old?
All right, Nicole, kick that
Zero.
music.
what kind of diss is that?
I don't
Who's
know.
that?
Like
Get
an
out of
iPad kid.
here. Yes, that's good diss.
That's a meme.
Oh, okay.
Nicole, can you start the music? There we go. Oh, hold on.
Hard. Cut it
T-minus
hard.
1 minute.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Adtopsy Live. We have a very fun show for you. As usual, this is starring myself as man with haircut, but you cannot see it at the moment. We also have Barry Hott as the $600 million man. Welcome, Barry.
That's me.
We also have Aaron Elliott as the reigning Adtopsy Challenge winner. Coming in very hot today. We also have Rachel Jackson as Media Supreme. Welcome, Rachel. We have a very special guest, Daniel Okon as Dokon the Destroyer.
Okay.
As usual, this is produced by Nicole Valadares live, a very difficult task and very challenging. We thank you, Nicole, for doing that.
Way to go, Nicole. This is going great.
Scream.
So this episode, we have a lot of things fun planned. We have the Adtopsy Challenge, and Dokon has brought a couple of ads from one of his brands that he owns or controls or something. We have a segment called Shit Clients Say, where we've put together some nonsensical or some interesting things that client might say, and then you have to respond to them like you would, like you're talking to a client. And Daniel, I believe you are client facing, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good. And then we're going to try and do some live brand strategy for one of Daniel's brands, Flood. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but we're absolutely going to try it. Daniel, why don't you introduce yourself, let people know who you are and what your deal is.
Yeah, so I'm founder of agency called Active, and then also have a venture studio called The Good. So we have a few brands that we own, including Flood, and then we work with brands on the paid side. So we do social media marketing and creative strategy for those brands.
Okay, so the agency works on the brands?
Yeah, so we actually so we have a team that actually focuses on the venture studio side that does all things like brand ideation, product development, and then launch on that side of things. And then the agency runs the paid social performance marketing on that side.
Cool. Very fun. Daniel's one of my favorite Twitter followers, always looking to improve processes and how things work. I'm sure it's very buttoned up over there. So excited to have you on the show, Dan.
Excited to be here.
Great. I see Matt Gattorzi in the chat, one of our favorite chat people. I'm just gonna share my screen here. Just give me a minute.
And Okon the Destroyer is my new nickname from just made it. So it's
Just
pretty
made
great.
it up.
I love it. I love it. It's nice and violent. Oh no, Jess, your live preview looks wonky.
Oh boy.
Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
Okay. Well,
Gotta give the man some time, Rachel.
sorry.
So you guys should be able to share my screen. See my screen?
Yep.
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 Okay. Not sure if you'll be able to hear anything. We'll find out soon enough. But
Love that.
before we get started, Nicole, do you want to get that jingle since we paid for it?
And we treat the doctors to get it right.
So we're doing something a little bit different for this challenge. You know, we have the season standings. I've sort of officially started the Adtopsy Challenge League, where
Wait, Jeff.
it's a
Is this supposed to be like a sport?
I'm bad at sports. I don't
Yes,
do the
that's-
sports.
that's the logo implication. Yes.
Oh my god, now I'm scared.
An American sport specifically.
So we are keeping track of wins and losses and win percentages as well. The one thing we're doing differently this time is I'm including chat responses. So if you
Cool.
vote in the chat, we'll get it recorded and we'll see how you do throughout the rest of the season. The only two rules is you have to put in your vote before we announce the winner, and the honorable thing would be before like we ourselves vote. But, you know, you can do whatever you want. And then
you can be a
also
cheater
Nicole
if
has
you
to Nicole has to pass that that comment through the live stream so we can make sure we see it.
Hi, Brett and Shane. Welcome.
Okay, so Lucas, Matthew,
Brett?
Shane, and Brett, you guys gotta show
Bring
us your
it.
tops and also vote.
Also, why is my standing not better? I won last week. Oh, I'm with Barry. You just put Barry next to you so it looks like he's better than me. Cool. Love that.
Well, you're 1 and 2. So you lost twice before that. So
You know what? No,
it takes-
we're not going to talk about that.
it's a long season. It's a long season. So before we get into the show these ads, why don't you set up the brand a little bit, Dokon? Like, what even is this brand, Fluid?
So it is essentially a bath soak brand that actually helps you with specific issues. So from insomnia, body aches, anxiety, as well as there's a sad smashing soak that helps with symptoms of like depression and things like that. So you literally soak in the bath for 10 to 15 minutes and you can absorb crazy amount of nutrients that actually lasts for up to a week. So it's actually an interesting product that is compared to Dr. Teal's, but Dr. Teal's is nothing like this product. It's actually
Sorry, I can take a bath for a week.
No.
you take a bath
That's right.
for 10 minutes and
Okay.
it gives you enough magnesium and other nutrients you need for the week.
Got it.
Yep.
But can I or
I mean,
take
you
it?
could take a bath for a week if you want, Barry.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to. Okay, got it.
I think you'll come out a raisin, but go for it.
So just a quick audio check. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
I just learned that my body stays in.
Yes.
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 Yes? Okay,
Wait for
so
me.
here is ad number 1.
I just learned that my body stays in fight or flight mode because it's deficient in stress-destroying nutrients.
Our bodies need magnesium, lithium, and vitamins B4 and B6 to prevent stress from taking over, and 90% of us don't get enough of it. The Stat Smashing Bath Soap from Fluid naturally refuels your body with these ingredients and so many others to combat anxiety, insomnia, and aches through transdermal absorption. Just a 15-minute bath lets your skin absorb 5 days worth of stress-destroying nutrients. It's time to get ourselves back. Go grab some of this stuff ASAP.
Very solid ad. And here we have the other one. Oh, geez, sorry. This one, we might have a little bit of some loading issues.
Buffering.
Buffering.
This isn't part of the ad.
Let me-
So it'd be a very
Let me,
ugly ad if that was the case.
That'd be a great ugly ad concept.
Just keep
I'm gonna
buffering.
play with that. I'm gonna dibs on that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, so let's try it again. Oh, sorry. Sorry, this is a Notion issue, but you just have to use your imagination
Okay.
and string it together.
This is not sponsored by Notion.
Yes, what the?
It's live. The show must go on.
Oh my God.
We're almost through.
I feel.
All right, let's watch it one more time from the beginning, and then hopefully it'll be done.
Do we have to?
Here we go. Yes. Well, we're almost there.
Okay.
I think we kind of like get the gist of
ready
it.
to
I'll
vote.
turn down
Yeah,
the music.
yeah.
Is this creator? Is it Katie?
Yes. Yeah, that's Katie actually.
She's a great creator. So we have one so these are very different. One very explanatory with VO, product and benefits, and one more of a vibe, maybe more native.
Can we get Katie's
So
number? To use her as a creator.
I think she's premium. So we have two ads. So in the chat, vote type a 1 if you think it's the first ad, or type a 2 if you think it is the second ad.
This is a
And what
good.
about
This is a really good.
This is a good
battle.
comparison
This
because
is-
I'm not sure. They're both very good, actually.
Yeah. It reminds me of last week's, shout out to last week's episode, by the way. While you're voting, if you haven't gone and watched last week's episode, there was another similar good battle.
Yeah.
And it also involved the similar concept of one with voiceover and one without voiceover, if I recall correctly. So I'm going to see if I can learn my lesson from last week, although that's not really what I'm doing here, but I'm going to vote based on something I learned maybe last week.
Were you just
All right.
giving us a
But-
tease of what you're going to vote? Or
Maybe I'm throwing you off the scent.
Okay, all right.
He's trying to
The
lead
chat
the
is-
standings.
The chat is pretty split, which is also interesting. So,
Yeah, I love that.
do you know which one do you want to vote for?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, on the count of 3, hold up either a 1 or a 2. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
Split row.
50-50.
Oh, Jess, we disagree. All right, let's go.
I'm so glad.
Whoa.
I want to say, everyone, I'm so
wait.
glad that there's a
Don't-
split.
Don't do the
I'm
winner
not,
yet.
I'm not going
Don't
to
do
say
the winner
anything.
yet.
I'm not going to tell the winner, but because
Okay.
I feel like I wasn't sure if people were going to know. So I'm really, really happy about this. This is great.
Really excited about this. comments.
Okay, so Barry, why don't you
Mm-hmm.
defend your choice here, the second one?
Number 2, I
dialogue.
liked how slow it loaded. I think that was actually the reason why I really enjoyed that effect. No, I don't know if you watched my reaction to the first one. I was overwhelmed by
I was
the
overwhelmed
first.
as well.
I was overwhelmed. There's so much. There's pros to that too. There's a lot of benefits to what that's doing. It's throwing so much at you so quickly. There's some benefits to that. But like to me, it wasn't just related. I don't think the common consumer finds it super relatable. Versus number 2 is, to me, right off the bat, visually a story being told. It's not something being sold, obviously. I really enjoyed the there's something on my way to take a stressed girl bath. Like, it's relatable. I'm like, yeah,
It's
I
content.
want to take a bath. It shows
content,
the robe
We
being
know that, Barry.
disrobed. But the robe being dropped is like, has like an allure to it. Like, it makes you think of like what's happening there. I really enjoy the shot of the hand going over the bags. What a good shot. I really enjoy that for a lot of reasons, and I'm sorry to eat up a lot of time here. But that shot specifically is very interesting because it's a what the fuck shot. It's like both interesting and it's like, wait, what is that? How is that involved
And
in the bath?
It's
What are
it's
these
a
packages?
subtle way. It's a subtle way to say this is a product without
Correct.
saying it.
But it's a product that the average viewer of this ad has no idea what it is. That visual in a beautiful bath, that no one has that. No one's seen that. No one knows what this is. So it's creating that curiosity, and it's like this kind of premium curiosity, and this like it's really cool. I really enjoyed that. It got me excited.
Brian says the text is hard to read, and I 100% agree. I think it's too small, and
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, but you see this every day. Like, if I'm scrolling on my feed and it's any other creator taking her get ready with me, whatever, it's gonna have that sort of text. So that doesn't typically bother me. I think the one thing I chose the second one, but the one thing that now I'm thinking about is that I don't know why that this is a particularly interesting bath salt or why it's different. The first one, I think you really get that, like with the deluge of information. So maybe I get that there's a good differentiator there. The second one, I like that it's the story. I like that it's content. I like this sort of, even this first image here is really compelling. But yeah, this is really split. This one was hard.
So I'll say the reason why I chose the first one is I agree with Barry. This is great content, but it doesn't sell. And it takes too long to get to the selling point. And I think that matters. And this one was overwhelming, but and there's a few things that I would change, but it gets like if you have stress or anxiety or something, my ears are just going to pick up, and I'm looking for any particular solution to help me. I already have the gummies and everything else. I don't have this. And so it feels like this would just be a better working ad unit.
Yeah, I really like the thumb stop there too, like why your body is always in fight or flight, because everybody knows what that means, and like you relate it instantly to anxiety and that feeling, and like I feel like we've all been living in that in the last 2 years, so it's like a really good like
But
I feel like everyone can
read
relate.
that though, Erin. Could
You
you
can't?
read? I couldn't
Yes.
even internalize that sentence.
Huh.
But there was
And it
VO
stays on for,
on
like-
top of it.
Yeah, but I still couldn't. I think it was moving. Something about it maybe it was moving too fast.
Sounds like a personal problem.
I know,
just
maybe
kidding,
it's-
Rachel.
Rachel's currently in flight mode.
Yeah.
She's on a plane, out of here as fast as she can.
It's called airplane mode. Yeah, I don't know. It was but again, maybe that's like you hear one or two of the words and you're like Jess said, your ears are pricking.
Well, and this
Fine.
right there too, when it was like anxiety, insomnia, body aches, it's like anyone who has any of those three things is going to stop and pay attention. Like I feel like a lot of people in this world have those problems. So,
Well, my boy DP in the chat says Jess was sort of spot on. So Dokkan the Destroyer, why don't you let us know who the winner is?
So the winner was number 1.
Oh my god.
yes, I'm still standing strong.
I thought this one was so obvious. Because as I watched it, one of the good indicator is as you watch the ad, do you actually want the product at the end? Do you personally want the product at the end? And at the end of this one, I was like, I might fucking try this thing, you know? And at the end of this one, I was like, that's interesting, but it wasn't.
Foxwell said he was proud of me. Thank you, Foxwell, for acknowledging your
He's
pride.
not proud
for
of me. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry,
no one's
Daddy
proud
Foxwell.
of you, Barry.
So I think the fascinating thing between like 1 and 2 is you're right. Like the thumb stopping is actually like that first clip of pouring the product into the beaker. That's one of the things that we found was extremely effective. And then also overlaying that with this is why your body goes into fight or flight mode. And just calling out all of the things that people deal with. Actually, I think those are the things that really help like pull people in. And we've spent like way over like good 6 figures on this specific ad video. And I think that the reason it's pretty successful, it has been successful, is kind of pulling people in that first kind of several seconds.
I think Barry has something to say about you spending 6 figures on this ad.
No, that's great.
I thought you did. I thought you saw your
In media.
No, yeah, I got some questions. Oh no, yeah, that'd be amazing if you spent $100,000. No, I got I same question as Matthew Gattosi here. Like, are these going to the same landing page? We have to ask all these questions. I don't know.
Yep. Same exact testing, same landing page. And So
Barry,
like
take the L, please.
I will not. I think
Yeah.
Well, Matthew asked the question though. What's our criteria of the winner? What metrics are we talking about?
right. Spend.
Yeah, so high. So the first one had a lot higher spend. They were both in the first initial test, and so with the first one, we had the ability to scale and spend a lot more, and then also much better new customer return, which is overall ROAS, and then also new customer return that we focus on, and then just like better metrics. So like your better click through rate, and then like your thumb stopping rate, all those things were much better on this ad.
So there's two improvements that I think could be made to this ad. One, and this is one that I see a lot when you mentioned the name of the product, Sad Smashing. So I'm going to play this VO again, and this just, I didn't know what you said. I had no context for what you said, and it was very confusing. So let me just play this
Prevent
again.
stress from taking over, and 90% of us don't have enough of it. The Sad Smashing Bath Soak from Fluid naturally refuels your body.
Like I know you know what the name of it is, but I don't know what Sad Smashing is, and so immediately I'm a little bit confused and I'm sort of taken out of it. And we see that a lot when people have product names that are like that and just toss it in there, And lastly, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess the question would be like, what you would just swap out it with a different term, or like how would you go about that?
I think you can put it into context. Like this one's called Sad Smashing, and I love it. Whatever.
That makes sense.
But just the sad smashing bath soak. My mind goes to I don't know. I don't want a sad bath soak or something. And the last one is, I think this is super important. Like this one kind of sold it for me. 15-minute bath is 5 days, so I would like move that way up.
15-minute bath lets your skin absorb
to the close to the beginning. That's all.
That makes sense.
Good ads though.
So
They're both really great.
Yeah. Well done, half of chat for getting that right.
Am I getting kicked off this show now? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think so.
Barry, I get
Relegation.
everyone wrong.
There's going to be the
relegated.
bottom three go to relegation, right? It's like Adtopsy B.
Can we
something.
like vote if Barry gets voted off? Like the chat, people can like
Yeah, chat, chime in.
say one or two if you want Barry off.
Oh my god.
Do it.
We need Barry. He's the heel
I'm
of the
just
show.
kidding. I love Barry.
I am the show. That's
So
great.
one of our sponsors is Triple Whale. I'm not going to go into the product, but the Whaleys are coming up. If you want to like get the most out of the e-com experience, a lot of times you have to do that in person to do the best networking, to learn the best, and to talk to people. The Foxwell Founders also does that. They're also one of our sponsors, and they recently did one, Barry, that you went to, which was pretty cool. Haven't been to there.
Last out there.
And I've heard rumors that Barry's going to be at the Whaleys. Is that true or is that not true?
That is true. I am going. This
Where's
is
your
a real
face
thing
in
that's
there?
happening. I don't know why my face isn't in here.
Well, I guess you're not on the roster then, sir.
These are so many of our past guests.
It'd be great if
I
my
know.
photo was there. I don't know how to get one there. Would love to be part of it.
Yep.
But my wife saw this on my calendar, and she's like, what are the Wallies, and why are you gonna? Why are the Wallies 3 days? And I was like, it's Whaleys.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm calling them the Wallies. I don't know if their pronunciation is confirmed.
Until they put you on the website, then you'll call them the Whaleys.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I don't know if Adtopsy has been nominated for Best Podcast. I haven't received confirmation of that yet, so I actually don't know if the Whaleys are a legitimate.
If you're
award show or
watching this
not.
right now, go and nominate us. Are you
Yes,
kidding?
seriously.
Why have we not been advocating for this last week?
We're hilarious.
Just turn off this video right now. Stop
Right now.
watching because this was
Do it.
terrible. And go and you can open a new tab. Wait. For those of you who didn't close this tab, open a new tab and go vote and nominate us. And nominate your other
someone
favorite
better.
DC brands.
Or someone better.
Or nominate a better show or podcast. That's fine too. Totally fine. Good point.
So I'm going to move on to this next segment called Shit Clients Say. And this is a challenge where I have two challenges. One, they're both interesting things or strange things that clients would say. And so Dokon the Destroyer, I'd like you to choose one. And then how would you respond to one of these? And then someone else can take the next one.
All right. All right.
Do you want to go with challenge 1 or challenge 2?
I think I'm going to go with challenge 1.
All right. This is an interesting one. All right, you ready? The client says, once it loads.
Wow, Notion, get it together today.
No problem.
This is
Now the text is buffering. What is happening?
I don't know. Okay.
Can
What
you
do you
scroll
think?
up?
What do you think our NC ROAS should be?
That is a good question. And an interesting question for a client to ask the agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure is.
Sure is. Yeah, and a couple times.
Sure is.
Good news is there's a tool we use to plug in all the information so that we actually understand what that new customer return should actually be. And I think every brand should be doing that, understanding their margins. With our brands, we run we know our net, clearly know what our net margins need to be across the board, what our new customer return needs to be at the lowest amount. But I also think that if they don't have that, there's maybe some other issues we should talk about. But if that being said, we provide a tool to really plug all that information in, which I think is super helpful because there's sometimes a lack of clarity of what that looks like, and it's pretty much just numbers, and you just got to put those in a doc and make sure it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of brands know their margins, but the KPIs feels like they're evolving, and people on the brand side, they get comfortable with ROAS and they get comfortable with MER, and then if we're putting out new stuff NC ROAS or all these stuff that coming out of Triple Whale or something, they do need some education there.
Yes. Yeah.
And having a tool to do that is a great idea.
Yeah, because the difference between overall return on ad spend or MER versus new customer return on ad spend. Yeah, I think NC ROAS came out with Triple Whale pretty much. So I think that's something that people maybe don't have as clear of an understanding of what that is.
Mm-hmm. All right, Barry, why don't you take this next one here?
In the hot seat, Barry.
Send it.
Once it loads. So Caraway and Allbird ads are so clean and not UGC. We should try it since it clearly works for them.
I was trying to find a way to leave the call this video as quick as possible. I was about to slam my computer shut.
He was getting in airplane mode, trying to get in airplane mode.
Screw that. No, I love this question. This is a tailor-made question. Give me something harder. Come on. I think it's important to consider when you think about brands of certain scale, what their goals are, what their investment situation is, what their finance situation is, what their scale and scope and reach is, what their distribution is, right? I'm not sure about Caraway, but Allbirds has retail stores. So their goals are very different in terms of creative and in terms of messaging. And also the thing that I, caveat about a lot of this is just because they're doing that doesn't mean that it's good or it's right. Just because they've scaled doesn't mean everything that they've done has fundamentally worked. Some things they've done have definitely worked. But also a lot of those brands that are putting out those prettiest things, you as a consumer, or as a marketer consumer, are cherry picking the prettiest ones to highlight because you're biased. But also, it's very possible that they're only producing pretty things because their marketing team is biased. It's good to look at other brands for inspiration, but don't let your pretty marketing brain get in your biased pretty marketing brain get in the way of your performance marketing brain, which wants to test lots of different things.
What I think is a really good example of this? Everyone about 2 years ago was talking about house, and now house is not a thing anymore. So it's just a good reminder that it's not always the same, and it's not every.
And the comparison should be apples to apples in terms of size. You can look at Allbirds, and if you're a $5 million brand, and you look at Allbirds, that's fine. But look at what Allbirds was doing when they were a $5 million brand, because it's not what they're doing now. It's hard to get to escape velocity, not doing something that's lower lo-fi, you know. It's very challenging.
I want to challenge this, by the way. Maybe we'll highlight this next week. I caught ads for Lumi on TV.
I love Lumi.
That's a Harry's own brand, by the way.
Oh.
On TV, 2 different ad spots with vertical founder, like literal cell phone video, ugly ads of their founder on TV, like just with bars on the sides. And my jaw dropped when I saw it, because this is what I've been like saying for years people need to be doing. So I was pumped to see that, and I thought it was eye-catching. It felt authentic. It still felt premium, and like, so that to me is a way to kind of harness both ends, have that authenticity and that realness, but also elevate it for TV and make it appropriate for TV. And I think there's definitely we're going to be seeing more of that in the near future. I think that's got to be working for them.
All right, so we're going to try one round of shit agencies say. And Dokon, you represent a brand. So I know you like work with your own people, but here's something that we have heard from a brand that an agency actually said, and I'd be curious how you would respond as the brand. Okay? Once it loads. Here we go. So, it's clear performance is down for lots of reasons, so we're reducing this month's targets to something more realistic.
Yeah, it's a fascinating. It's to me. So I think that's a really difficult thing. I don't really like to adjust targets in the middle of a month. Like, I don't think that's a good way to go. And I think like when you're looking at historical numbers and looking at like this, let's say this year versus last year, 2 years ago, or whatever that is, however much information you have and data you have, I don't think I would be adjusting. Performance is down. These targets, we didn't hit our targets, but then let's plan for, the next 3 months and figure out what we need to do to maybe, whether it's like a exclusive product drop or something else that we need to do to like recoup some of these numbers. That's what I would probably move towards, instead of being like, oh, well, we didn't hit our numbers, so let's just bring those targets back down.
Yeah, we had a client that drilled into us that targets don't change. And so it's just something that we operate with. So moving into our next sponsor, the Founders Group. If you haven't heard about it, you need to check it out. I don't know if my boy's still in here, but I just want to give one example of how this is one of, like, if we look at our stack of tools that we have in e-com, this one is by far the most valuable. And it's basically it's just like a Slack group with a lot of different people talking. So just an example, I asked, I was curious about meeting notes with clients, and I was asking people, like, do they have agenda, a status document or something? And then I can't show you all the alpha that came in here, but it was a lot within 90 minutes. Like there's other groups out there that I'm a part of, but nothing. And there's bigger ones for sure, but nothing is active. And also nothing is as like the people are so willing to help. Like I had people in my DMs showing me their like meeting notes and stuff. It's crazy the community that Foxwell has built over there.
Yeah, and this is something we use as a tool. Like, actually, Jess, I was the one that said you should ask the Founders Group, because from like an agency perspective, all the time we're like, there's a bunch of other agencies and brand owners out there. We just need to ask them what they're doing and how they're approaching things, because let's not reinvent the wheel. Plenty of people have amazing ideas. So I think it's great to poll people every once in a while and have a good sense of what everyone else is doing.
I got to say, it's the opposite of Twitter. Like I used to say it's like better than Twitter, it's supplement to Twitter, but it's like the opposite of Twitter, because you're not posting on there to like get likes, grow your audience or like get likes or whatever. You're posting there to get help or support someone. And it's I'll call it out. It's expensive, but like that's also a benefit. Like it keeps out a lot of people that, there's no spam bots. There's no people really wasting your time. It's really amazing, and it's extremely supportive. I've joined some of the was it biweekly or weekly calls, and it's just like it's almost like a support group getting to talk through.
Truly.
It really is. I mean, like it's so amazing to get to hear people's perspectives. We did that amazing. I forget just if you were on that one. We did that amazing thing talking about like culture and like agency culture and core values and things like that. And like it was really awesome to hear people that had similar perspectives with me and different perspectives. I loved it so much, and I got so much out of it. And I also feel like I was also able to give a lot to that, and it's I don't know, it's rewarding.
It's like
both
a
ways.
Lifetime movie here.
It sounds so nice. It's like a warm hug.
Right. It is expensive. I don't know what it's at currently, but if you email Andrew at Foxwell Digital, he can work something out for sure, 100%.
It's worth it.
So now we're going to move into another part, and I wanted to talk about strategy or brand strategy because there's a lot of emphasis on hooks and tactics and everything like that. And whenever we start with a new client, we go through a few different exercises, and one of them is this particular exercise, the resident messaging Venn diagram. And so we're going to try and do this for Fluid in real time. Usually this process takes like a week, so we're going to see if we can cut it down to like 10 minutes, but
This
we'll
is
sort of see what
exciting.
happens.
Let's do it. I like all those trademarks, Jess, for your Venn diagram. Nobody can take
Sure.
it now because there's 6 of them.
So the basic concept is we are looking for some resonant messaging. That is the intersection of 3 circles. The first circle is what can we say that's true? And it needs to be true for a lot of reasons. One, if it's not true, you're breaking your promise. And the other, if it is true, you can talk about it more emphatically and it's more believable.
Right.
The other is what does the market want to hear? Because if the market does, there's a lot of founders who love what they do and they have something passionate about it, but the market doesn't want to hear that shit. And then the last, which is actually the hardest, is what others cannot say. What is the differentiating thing? And I'll say that there's not always the perfect intersection, particularly because there's also a lot of competitors who are saying the same things. But if you can get 2 of them, that's fine. But if you can get 3 of them, that forms the basis of what a lot of powerful pitches and personas and all kinds of stuff can come out of. Like we get clients who are like, they have something that's true and that they have something that the market wants to hear, but other people are saying it as well. So it's not as resonant. And sometimes we have to like rebuild the brand a little bit to get to some type of differentiating if it's not quite in the product. But I'm curious from the Fluid perspective, can we make some lists here and see if there's any overlap? So what can Fluid say that's true, like about the product?
So just like listing everything. Okay, so it is true that you could get like the enough magnesium for 5 days in your body. So that's definitely true.
Okay.
That helps with sleeping.
Yes. So it does help with sleep and body aches. It's the highest rate of absorption compared to topical like absorption for nutrients.
So another example was a brand that we work with. They sell sunglasses and they're like the cooler brand. They are cool. I mean, the brand is cool, and so they can just say that they're cool. It's not. No one's going to say that and be like, "No, you're not cool."
Definitely,
Well, someone
definitely
might.
cooler and definitely cooler than Dr. Teal's. That's for sure.
That's true.
Yeah, there's a hip element.
There's a hit. Yeah.
Heels?
Is it? What about the ingredients and stuff? Like, is it?
Yes,
what's in it?
So non-toxic, completely, and actually, one of the things is there's a lot of products that like when you put it into your water, it causes more issues in like the water system. So like chemicals, things like that. But it's actually, there's no chemicals in the product. So it literally just dissipates in the water system. Okay. And then we use fragrances, so in like non-toxic like type of products too. So it's all like, how do I say this? And then correct, I'm trying to remember like the exact term of it, but they're non-toxic scents. So there's like, bad things in there. There's a lot of stuff that people put in like bath bombs that are actually pretty toxic.
Yes.
And we don't use anything like that.
Okay.
All right. So in terms of the space that you're in, I guess it would be the stuff you put in the bath space. What do you think? What do you think those people want to hear from a product? You could also probably go into the, if it's like helps reduce or helps with sleep and stuff. You're in that space a little bit. It doesn't have to be like what you put in the bath, but
yeah, it actually does help. Like helps with insomnia. So like people who have these issues, they've tried everything, so it actually works. And I think that that's really important. It works quickly. So, instead of like having to take like a magnesium pill for like a week and a half, this works literally the same day.
Do you think the market wants that? Because sometimes they want something, but they don't even know that exists. It's like the market's saying, I need something quickly because most other stuff isn't working.
I think so.
I think so too.
The market wants to hear, I want to fall asleep tonight.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And then also it's actually like something that's fairly convenient. Like people who like taking baths, like you don't have to sit there for like an hour or anything. You can be there for like 15 minutes if you have kids or whatever. Right. It's not very like time consuming, which is nice. Yeah. And also it feels like you're experiencing a spa at home. And I feel like that's something that is nice. Maybe other brands can do that too, but the scents actually are people love the smell of the different types of products too. So that's pretty important.
I forgot to call out, by the way, I've used this product. I forget if I bought it or if Daniel, you sent me some, and it's great. I love it.
I really want to try it. I'm excited to give it a try. Jess, you can buy some for me.
So I would put under what the market wants to hear. Some guy named Barry
recommends
really enjoy it. Maybe that goes under what others cannot say.
Is it really expensive?
Oh, the price point? What's the price point?
Sometimes the market wants to. Sometimes the market cares about price. It depends what we're talking about, I suppose. But
generally, it's between, depending on how many you buy, is between like $5 and $8 per soak. Bath bombs generally are $10 or so. Yeah. So it's not super expensive. It's kind of in the middle. It would be something that you would probably buy at like Target or something if it was in retail stores.
Okay.
The other thing that we put in this circle is not just relates to your product. Like if the market wants to hear like super luxury, we'll put that in there as well. I mean, we haven't researched this market whatsoever, so I'm not sure what they're into.
I am wondering if non-toxic is a thing in this market, just because it's like, I'm not going to take, like that is important to me if I'm using a bath bomb or something personally, but I don't know if that's important to everybody.
I think it is. That's why Lush is so big.
Right. I think it's a pretty big deal. Like because you can find all kinds of bath bombs, but they're usually crap, bad ingredients and stuff.
Okay. So the hardest one is what others cannot say. I guess specifically like Mr. Teal. Who is it? Dr. Teal?
That's Dr. Teal. Yes, Dr. Teal. Teal. But anyway, yeah. So the formulation is completely different than Dr. Teal's. So Dr. Teal's is a salt, is an Epsom salt, and the formulation from Flu was created so it actually will be able to be absorbed through like a warm bath. You can't absorb it if you take a cold bath, which who wants to take cold baths? I know some people are wild like that, but so it actually
I almost just name dropped someone. He's not going to watch it, so it doesn't matter. Cody Plofker, but that's not even an insult. He just does like a lot.
He likes cold baths.
A lot of people do cold plunges.
The Iceman.
Yeah. Those, yeah.
So just
what others also can't say. Most others can't say they're non-toxic. So they use a lot of different fragrances that are toxic or semi-toxic.
What
but you're not the only non-toxic one.
Yeah, that's true. The fast absorption for sure.
I would think the fast
Yes.
absorption, yeah.
That's the most interesting to me is like,
Yeah.
oh, I just need to soak for 15 minutes and I'm going to get all these benefits.
Well, because magnesium is like a supplement you can take, like if you
Yeah.
have trouble sleeping, but if I could just take a bath and then like go to bed and it helps me relax and go to sleep quicker, that's pretty awesome.
So how does like, because you are competing in people who are trying to solve a sleep or stress need, like gummies or something. How does the absorption compare to those products?
So it's actually something we have on a lot of our landing pages, but it absorbs 90% better than other like pretty much anything on the market.
Because it's like, is it because you're bathing in it? So it's like all of your skin is because skin
Yep.
obviously, okay, absorbs quicker. Okay.
Yeah, so we talk about how skin is a sponge, really.
Yeah.
It's it absorbs a lot of, some things. And so, yeah, it's really one of the best ways to absorb some of these nutrients.
Also, that's frightening.
Okay.
I hope you use good lotion.
Yes. Lotion, think about like bug spray, stuff like that. Anyway. We won't
DEET.
go
No
down that
DEET.
road.
Okay, so when we look at these three things, there's nothing specifically that has an overlap in terms of language, because I don't think people aren't looking. The market's not saying I want something that's faster, that absorbs faster, and they're not saying I want a different formulation that's not a salt, but they are saying things that relate to that. It works quickly because of faster absorption.
Right.
So when we come up with like the resonant messaging and then like, does it works quickly? So that was also something that said was true or no? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's not perfect, we do have to find. Anytime we have something that's not perfect, we do have to be cognizant that when we say like it works quickly, we need to qualify it with like faster absorption, but we can't go in there and say like faster absorption. That doesn't make any sense,
Right.
So it's a little bit of finagling once you have these things to find one that has an overlap, and then from that, like what is the language that you use to figure that out? Does that make any sense?
The two things are like, and what about it works quickly and it lasts for 5 days? Because like with a supplement, it's like a daily thing you have to do, and it has to build up in your body.
Yep.
So that's kind of an interesting. It's almost like it works quicker and lasts longer, kind of thing.
Correct.
Yep. And I think these have to be incredibly qualified, because my skeptical brain, I was like, it's, put something in a bath or put something in your mouth. Like, how could it be better? How could you get more? How could it last longer? That makes no sense to know how absorption works, which is probably most of your audience. So I think there's a big educational piece for this messaging to work really well.
Yeah.
It's true. And I think that's some of the troubles we've had in terms of like creative and things like that, because it's hard to show how it works, because people don't really understand it. So yeah, that's something that we've had to try to work through quite a bit.
Yeah. Brian in the chat said the skin is the largest organ of the body. That is a great lead into anything. If you had to add this, like the skin is the largest organ in your body. No, there's no reason. I mean, this is exactly why this absorbs better and works better and lasts longer. I mean, just think about it. And so you don't have to like explain, you don't have to get into the science, but have these small phrases that are like, oh, no shit. Oh, that makes total sense. Could work really well.
I love that.
So hopefully we got some value out of 10 minutes of like real time brand strategy. But this is if you have your brand, if you're working on your brand, try this exercise, write these out, figure out what's overlap, and figure out the right way to say that particular thing. It could be really useful.
Have you tweeted this, Jess?
No, that's
Twitter.
That's
This would be good.
trademarked. That's trademarked. You can't tweet
Yeah,
that.
did you not see it has a TSMMT?
Right.
They put a big copyright over it, a big fire team logo right in the middle. Put a
Yeah,
fire
we
team
need
logo
to.
in the middle.
All
Yeah,
it is
this
a
is-
Venn diagram. I don't think you trademarked it, but cool.
Yeah, verbal trademark TM.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's see. That we're getting right up on the hour, so we're coming up to the end of the show. Man, this was a show where it's like, I just feel like I just like my brain just got like bigger or something. I just feel like
Yeah.
I just learned. I love that.
I like when we talk about
love
client stuff. I think it's really important to have conversations like that, because at the end of the day, we're not just like numbers and ad 1 versus ad 2. It's also the communication is so incredibly important. So that's always good discussion to have.
Yeah, and you guys gave some good feedback. I appreciate that. We're that Fluid is like a baby brand that we're trying to grow, and it's kind of fun to talk through some of that stuff too. And very fascinating to see which one you thought. Barry, sorry, you took a hit on your percentage.
I mean, I guess, there goes my chance of ever working with you again. But side note, we should chat, because I want to dig into that ad more and like see if there's bits of that ad that I really think you might want to test more. And
I love that.
In fact, still have access to this ad account, and I've been looking at it this entire time.
And thank you for the chat, for sticking with us for an hour. It's hopefully it's the best part of your Friday, Brian, Brett.
The only
Brian,
two
number
people
2,
left standing.
Matt, healthy bearded. No, lots of great people.
Yay!
Be sure to
Wow.
be sure to follow all the people you see on the screen. And thanks again for coming along, guys.
Oh, hey,
guys.
wait, before you sign off, Jess, last week you let me, sell some stuff or whatever. So I would do that again, but I wanted to make sure that you talk about your services. What does Fireteam do? How does someone engage with Fireteam if they wanted? If they were like, oh, this podcast is pretty cool, this show is pretty cool, whatever this is. What are these Fireteam people? Who are these Fireteam people? What is
They'd
Fireteam?
probably talk to Nikki, because
If I wanted to jump on a Zoom call, with Fireteam,
Slide
how could I
into
do
Jess's
that?
DMs,
What is Fireteam anyway?
You can go to our website, fireteam.is. We have a button where you can just hop into our sort of internal meetings as they're in progress. And but we're actually kind of busy, so think real hard if you want to do something like that. But I appreciate that,
rude.
Barry.
Yeah.
That was nice, Barry. Thank you.
I realized that last
Yeah.
week. I was like, I got to promote my stuff. I was like, wait, if anyone's just like watching this channel, they're like, oh, this is a great show. And they don't realize that maybe Fireteam is like, an agency that does amazing work. So like, wanted to make sure you guys get repped properly.
Thanks, Bear.
So,
Gare
look out-
Bear.
Hey, you
Gare
guys
Bear.
you got to cover your butts,
That's right.
All right, so that concludes the show. Now we're just going to move over into the recap segment. Barry, I hope you were
I
taking
got
notes.
it. I got it.
I think that's all he was just paying attention to. He was just taking notes the whole time. That's why he failed the first challenge.
Yeah, that was it. I was so focused, just like intently handwriting every transcribing
Okay.
every word. Are you ready?
So hold on. Okay. No, not ready. So, Dokkan, what we're going to do is I'm going to be like, welcome to Fireteam, got a great show, or welcome to Adtopsy, got a great show. Barry's going to lift off the segments, and then I'm just going to kick it to you to be like, it was a great show. And then that becomes the intro to the YouTube video.
Cool. That works.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Gives me anxiety. Okay.
Welcome back to Adtopsy, everyone. We got an amazing show. Your brain is just going to get like 5 sizes larger for all the amazing segments that we had here. We had Dokkan the Destroyer on the show. He's one of my favorite guests. But Barry, why don't you tell people what they're going to see and what they're going to learn here?
First, as you mentioned, we have Daniel Okon on. That's his real name. We did an Adtopsy challenge with one of his brands, Fluid, which is bath salts, and not the bath salts you find in Florida, but the kind of bath salts that you put in your bath. We also did, I'm not sure I can say this in the first 15 seconds of a YouTube video, so I'm stalling, but we did shit clients say, and then we did shit agencies say very briefly, and then we followed that off with a fun brand strategy exercise where we looked at a Venn diagram that hopefully Jess will put on at some point in the future. But if he doesn't, you can screenshot it from this video later on, and it's pretty cool and valuable. So yeah, watch this episode. If you watch and like this, please give us a like, please subscribe, please follow us in real life, track us down, see where we live, and follow us in our cars with your
And Okon the Destroyer, did you have a fun time on this episode?
I had a blast. This is so fun. Learned a lot and also got to laugh a lot. So you all will enjoy this quite a bit.
Perfect.
Also,
right.
voiceover Jess is incredible. Somebody said that.
yeah, Brett, I agree.
I totally agree.
I need to work on my voiceover voice. I got to shift into a different gear.
You do. All right.
Should I
Thank
go
you,
higher pitch?
Shafter.
Should I go higher?
Yeah.
Like this?
All right. Ending
Is this better?
broadcast. Ending broadcast.
No.